ahead, we'll wait.
Come on, baby.
All right. Good evening, Morgantown. Yeah, sexy crowd. Good looking crowd. Yeah. It makes it easier if you picture the crowd naked. I don't have a very good imagination. Who's got an OnlyFans? Hands up. No? All right. I am from right here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Yeah, don't do that. West Virginia, almost heaven. Somebody's probably got Narcan. You know, almost heaven. There you go. I like your style. I grew up right here. I grew up poor. Anybody else grow up poor? I don't care. I grew up poor. I grew up so poor that one year for Halloween, this kid that used to bully me came to school dressed as me. It's fucked up, right? He wore torn up clothes, dirty, tattered. Even tied a piece of yellow yarn to the back of his hat so it looked like my rat tail. It was 93. It's humiliating. He looked just like me. It sucks though. It sucks to have everybody laugh at you. You know? I got the last laugh. Because he was the one the gym teacher molested. That day. Alright, we're off to a good start. I like you guys. Good crowd. Like most people that grew up in West Virginia, I learned a lot of stuff from my grandpa. You know, I learned stuff from your grandfather. Like my grandfather would tell me about how America was different, you know? He'd be like, yeah, back in my day, the economy was strong. A man was able to have 2, sometimes even 3 families. And his eyes would glass over and he would ask me ridiculous questions. Like, do you know how we would measure a man in Vietnam? By his capacity to kill, the ears and dog tags hanging around his neck. Anything to avoid the metric system. Boomers, man. You know? My grandparents were awesome. My grandparents were together for 38 years. Don't cheer yet. My grandparents were together for 38 years, and I asked my grandma one time, I said, how'd you make it work? How'd you last for 38 years? She said, well, I never got a driver's license. I never learned to drive. And I said, fucking, that's it? Never got a driver's license? She said, yeah. Or I'd have ran him over 30 years ago. Classy lady. Classy lady. My grandma was a wild lady. She was wild. She loved these jokes, I assume. She was a wild lady. She loved to have her some Crown and Coke. You know, Crown Royal. But as she got older, she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her she needed to slow down a little bit. So from then on, she never drank alcohol when she was doing cocaine. Classy lady. Yeah. She kind of rubbed off on my dad. My dad's a good guy. My dad's a good guy. He wanted me to be good at baseball. My dad wanted. My dad was like, you're going to be good at baseball. And I was out having a catch with my dad, throwing the baseball back and forth. And I was having trouble. Catching the ball. Having trouble keeping my eye on it, you know? And at one point, bam, I got hit right in the eye. And you know, that made me start paying attention. And from then on, I caught every single ball my dad threw. I really didn't want him to punch me again. And swerve, you know? Now I'm good at baseball, you know? Sometimes I volunteer with disadvantaged youths, kids. I could go teaching baseball, pretty good at it. They were playing a game over the summer. They were down by 2 runs. So I gave them a pep talk. I sat them all down, looked them in their tiny child faces, and I said, nobody wants to adopt a loser. They are undefeated. It's called motivation, people. Oh man. I'm gonna look at this for a second. Yeah, 3 of the people on this list are definitely in this room. That's gonna make it a lot easier on me. I was actually reading an article somebody put up an article about a guy who was trying to reenact an event from the Bible. He was trying to reenact Daniel in the lion's den. Anybody hear about this? Yeah, this guy decided he was going to climb into an enclosure at a zoo with lions to prove his faith in God. So this guy climbs into the enclosure with the lions. The most amazing thing happened. You can imagine how relieved the zoo staff was when they arrived and realized that they were not going to have to feed those lions for the rest of the week. Speaking of losers, I'm a sensitive guy. I'm not religious, but I'm sensitive. Like the other day, a fortune cookie made me cry. Yeah. It said, if not you, who? If not now, when? Has anybody ever stapled a fortune to a suicide note? Paramedics show up and they're like, oh man, this is sad. Did he say why he did it? Nope. But his lucky numbers are 44, 10, and 2. Time of death, 10:44. Hey, look at that! I wonder what the 2 is. Well, he definitely shit himself. That's the 2. I'm going to preface this. I told that joke in Pittsburgh one time, and some lady came up to me after the show, and I was like, all right, I don't get. And her posture was this. And her hand kept getting higher on her hip. So she finally looked at me and she said, suicide is never funny. I don't know. Subjective, isn't it? Like, what if you fly to Paris and you climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower and you jump off and say, whee! That's funny in 2 languages. That's why I do this. Fleeting glimpses of joy for me right here. See? Told you suicide was funny. This lady continued to berate me. And I said, listen, I understand. She said, no, you don't. Because my husband killed himself 2 years ago. And I'm like, all right, listen. I apologize for your loss. maybe don't go to comedy shows. Maybe not the place for you. And she continued on for some time. She said, you didn't apologize for what you said. You only apologized because I complained. I said, yeah, that's right. And she continued on, and I had to stop her. I said, hang on, hold up. How long were you and your husband together? And she said, 15 years. And I said, 15 years? That's amazing. Wonderful. It's fucking unbelievable, because I've been talking to you for 2 minutes. And I'm already ready to blow my fucking mind. Oh man, yeah. Sometimes. Are we having a good time? Thank you guys for coming. This is awesome. It's awesome to build a small comedy community in a town. It's awesome. If you guys didn't come out here, this would just be weird. You know, I've done it. I've done comedy to an empty room. You know, it's sad. So this is nice. It's nice to do comedy to faces. Again, who's got the OnlyFans hands? Anybody? All right. Hey, I got you. It's Rufio, right? Rufio 416, right? Rufio. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? Yeah, Google him. You'll be like, holy shit, I look like fucking Rufio. I got one millennial on the back, like, fucking, I know that. It's from Hook. What's up?
You racist fuck.
Dude, you got Peter Pan. No. You got, yeah, he's from Peter Pan, see? Thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. It's cool for you coming out. Make sure you tip your bartenders and all that fun, happy stuff. You know, I'm 40 years old. I'm an elder millennial. You know, and the elder part of me is like, get off my lawn. But the millennial part of me is like, get off my landlord's lawn. You know? But I am an elder millennial. I'm 40 years old, so I do things a little differently. You know? Like, I'm not proud of everything I do. I still say the R word. I do. I say it when I get upset, when I get annoyed. I do. I say it. Not proud of it. Because listen, I understand that it's a word used to describe people that have trouble learning. See, look how nervous everybody got. It's a word used to describe people that have trouble learning. People that have trouble blending into society. Listen, when I was a kid, we all had one in our neighborhood who would stand in their yard and yell at traffic. Understand me. I still love my Republican friends and family. Even if most of them are retarded. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.